Hello, my name is Mary Lechene, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to blow dry your hair, which sounds easy enough. First, you need to start with a good shampoo and conditioner. I use today Awapui. It's Paul Mitchell's exclusive high-end line, and it has no sulfates, which is a good idea if you're going to protect your color. Then, for my particular hair, which is fine and thin, I'm going to use a thickening spray. I like the tea tree, Paul Mitchell's Lemon Sage Tea Tree. And you just spray it all over the roots, like every inch or so. Just part your hair and spray it at the roots. It's not going to leave a residue that's heavy, it's water-based. So I like this one, and it smells delicious. Then I like the Awapui leave-in treatment oil to put on your ends. It mimics your hair's natural oil, which never makes it from your scalp to your ends because we wash our hair more frequently. And if you just put it lightly on the ends, it will keep them from ever getting dry or brittle, and it kind of protects them while you're using your hot tools on them. Okay. Now we're ready to go. As you can see, my hair is not dripping wet. I just had it in the towel. I didn't really dry it. I just put it in the towel after I washed it for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and that took most of the moisture out. You're also going to need some clips. You can have 1 to 2, 3 clips, and then you're going to need a larger clip for larger amounts of hair. A comb for parting. And you can choose the brush that you like. I go back and forth between this brush, which is kind of odd. It's an oval shape. I like it because it can pull out some of the curl while still giving you volume. And this end is nice for helping you part the hair, which you can always put it away if you don't like it. This one is a ceramic ion brush, as is this one. This one's just your run-of-the-mill 1.5 inch round brush. So you're going to start by sectioning your hair. You're going to have a small section. You're always going to do the bottom and the back first, moving up and forward. So I've sectioned my hair from the top of my ears all the way around. I'm going to take my large clip and clip this hair out of the way. And then if you want, you can just take the bang hairs so they're not always in your face, and take one of your small clips and clip it out of the way. For my blow dryer, I'm using the Bioionic Power Light. It's very important to have a good blow dryer, especially one that has ions. Damaged hair actually has positive ions, and a good hot tool will emit negative ions. And the two together help balance out so that you're not getting damage when you use a hot tool on your hair. So this blow dryer has a lot of ions in it, and it's going to protect my hair as I blow dry it. You can still hurt your hair if you hold it still while you're blow drying it. You can boil the water in your hair shaft and therefore damage it quite a bit with the blow dryer. So make sure you keep it moving always on your hair, never hold it in one spot. Okay, that said, you're going to start by splitting your hair in the middle and the back. Pull one side forward, and then use whatever brush that you want to brush through it and make sure there's no tangles. I always hold the hair between my thumb and forefinger, and then I put whatever tool I'm using, a brush in this case, in between my middle finger and my forefinger if I need to section it and hold the blow dryer at the same time. Alright, so I've smoothed the hair. I'm holding the hair. Turn on the blow dryer. And then, depending if you're right or left-handed and which side of your head, if I do my left side, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to put the blow dryer in my left hand, and I'm going to reach across my body with the brush. It's easier to reach across with your dominant hand. of something. Your earrings, if they're long and dangly, might be impeding your progress. I'm just going to go ahead and take mine off. You might have noticed that I used the blow dryer instead of letting go of the blow dryer and then having to pick it up. I used it underneath the hair between each stroke. And the reason that you have to do multiple strokes is so that you're not burning your hair. So you're going to do fast moving strokes. You start at the top and you're going to slightly roll the brush, while you keep the nozzle of your blow dryer. And I have a concentrator tip on mine. You may not have one of these, but it makes it easier if you put this on there without the concentrator. Your hair kind of flies all over the place, and it can leave it looking kind of frizzy and messy. So if you put the concentrator on, and then you have to figure out where's the best angle to turn it. In my case, it's like this, not like this, because you want it to lay flat against the brush. Okay, moving on. We're gonna It's important to get each piece completely dry before you move on. If you have curly hair naturally, that means it will get frizzy if it dries halfway with a hot tool and you let it air dry the rest of the way. It's going to get frizzy. So you want to make sure you get it completely dry so that it stays silky throughout the day and the humidity doesn't affect it. Now I'm going to take the next section. You want it to be no wider than whatever brush you're using. And since my brush is about 1.5 inches, I'm going to take another 1.5 inch section, which is about halfway between my ear and temple. I'm just going to take my fingers and follow them all the way around my head where they meet in the back so I can get a pretty clean section. That should be clean. And then clip it out of the way. And you want it completely out of the way. You don't want these hairs loosely hanging, because if they do, your brush will grab them and get tangled. So pull them completely out of the way and clip them up. And go ahead and brush the hair quick before you get your blow dryer in there. Turn on your blow dryer. Okay, so as you move up your hair, one of the common problems that I hear my clients having is they get the brush stuck. I don't know if you noticed, but I have lifted my elbow up, and I always lifted the hair in the section I was working on slightly up, because if I rolled the brush to dry it and I held it down, this is what happens. You pull the hairs below into the brush and it gets tangled. So what you want to do is take a clear part from the hair below it, pull the hair slightly up, and always keep your elbow up, and that will help you to not grab these lower hairs and then tangle your brush. If you do happen to tangle your brush, immediately roll out by about 1/8 of a turn. Gently go underneath and get those hairs that you grabbed. Keep them away, and then you can pull your brush out so you don't end up cutting your brush out of your hair. That's tragic. Moving on to the other side. You might notice that I start out by blow drying the top half of the hair, and then I wind it up and I squirt some hot air, blast it from the root underneath and on top. It's a good way to make sure that the roots are completely dry before you move on to the ends. That's the way you want to do it. And you always want to direct the air from the blow dryer not up the hair shaft, but down the hair shaft, making sure the air is always blowing down towards the ends of the hair. That keeps it shiny. If you blow up into it, it opens the cuticle and takes away the shine of the hair. Okay, moving on to the next level. Basically just repeating, making sure not to grab the lower already dried section into the brush. And the way, again, to avoid that is to just keep the section you're working on elevated well above the section you just finished. So I'm going to reclip the hair that I'm not working on completely out of the way. And then I'm going to dry this section. I'm going to use the other brush this time, and you can see kind of the difference. This is a metal bristle, and it doesn't hold my hair as well because I have super silky kind of baby fine hair. This is a boar bristle brush, and it will kind of grip my hair a little better so it doesn't slide out of the brush as I dry it. Keeps a better tension. Now, if I wasn't pausing to talk about this, it actually takes me 7 to 10 minutes to dry my whole head of hair. And it should take you about that much time, but not in the beginning. You can expect to spend about 30 minutes for the first 2 weeks each time you do this because it's awkward. It's awkward to get your hands to move the right way, especially in the mirror if you're not used to moving in the mirror with your hands. You'll find yourself putting your hand further away instead of closer to your head. But you'll get over that, and you will be efficient at it if you just stick with it. Try. The 2 week is about the magic time period to learn a new hairstyle. Okay, the top section is a little bit different. Most people are doing a side swept bang, so you're going to want to diagonal your section, starting at whichever side you want to show more forehead is where you have the point, and then it gets wider, the section gets wider as it goes back. And it's diagonal. You'll see it's not like this. And then make sure you clip out the hair. And on this section, you're going to start by your face and move back. So you want to make sure to keep your brush angle not completely forward like this, not completely sideways like this, but diagonal and parallel to the parting that you took. And then before you let the hair cool, you want to brush it into that side swoop, and then it'll stay that way once it cools. Take your next parting the same way, parallel, a diagonal parting, and you're going to do the brush motion the same, perpendicular or parallel to the diagonal part. You might have seen me switch brushes there, and it's because my hair is shorter in the bang area, the fringe area, so I needed a less wide diameter brush. Now this last little section up on top, you're going to split that into this way, split it in half that way. I'm going to go sideways this way with this hair, and to the other side with that hair. So we'll start with this piece. then when you're finished blow drying, just put your hands through it and push it wherever you want it to lay. Make sure everything is shiny. If it's not, that means you didn't dry it completely, and you need to go back in that area and smooth it completely dry. And see, I have a little bend here. I'm going to go back in and fix that now before the hair completely cools. Okay. And that's it. And the only thing that you could do if you wanted to are these hairs here. If you don't want them falling in your face all day, if you have slightly longer bang fringe area, then what I like to do is drape them so that they touch the corner of my eyebrow, hold them, and take a very strong hold hairspray, protecting your face if you want with your hand, and spray that area with a strong hold aerosol hairspray. I like the Paul Mitchell in the purple lid container. Extra body firm hold, and it will not fall in your face for the rest of the day. It will stay perfect. And that's it. Good luck with your blow drying.